Yes, people, we're back live on CAS, aka MUFC CAS, where we talk about Man United content. So big up anyone that's come over from Rance's channel, and big up to anyone that's subscribed that's new. And also for the watch hours, if anyone wants to stay and try to get me monetized, big up to yourselves as well. Obviously, you just see the little spat between me, Rance, talking about stuff. You lot gotta understand one thing and one thing only. When we talk, I'm not there to play nice. Like, I'm not there to play villain either. You know what it is? It's sometimes trying to provide an argument to make it different for different purposes. You know, it makes a better stream, does it not? A bit like what me and Monts do, anyways. But big up Rants every single time. At the end of the day, with us United fans, all we want to do is win. And it's true. A lot with what Rant's saying is true. And I feel like with whatever I say is also can be true. Two things can be right at once. But there, at the end of this, we just want to win and we want to be successful. We want to be in a position where we take control of the rivalry. We take control of the banter, like Man City fans do right now. Unfortunately, we have to say stuff like this because if we don't, then it will never get recognized. I want to be arrogant, and I want it to be, arrogance that's actually warranted. But we're not in that position no more. We had our time, but doesn't mean it can't be our time. So yeah, man, we have to hope, and then from there, get this decision on the way. Anyways, big up to everyone that's actually in here. It's nice to see 100 of views, especially I know this come from a lot of Rance's peoples as well. Don't take things too personally. Never do. Trust me. We always speak off screen, and it's always blessed. It's nothing. There's no animosity whatsoever. Cass, I think you're gonna meant to say believe. Big up Israel. It says I don't believe we really offer for Alonso a contract because he's not a free agent. Also, he's with Leverkusen. I mean, in midfielders that can control our game like Reinders is a must. Verts and Brentford too. Big up Dan Fenton as well. Big up Mac. Your name's just Mac today. Yeah, I'm not even saying that one. Sav, big up for the Rants raid as well. Mustafa and obviously Trigger. So yeah, man. You lot probably got the brunt of everything that was already being said over there at Rance's channel. But we got a Thomas Frank audition tomorrow. And it's going to be an interesting time just for the United fan base alone. You got so many things to pick apart and solutions. Even, you know what? Is there any solutions? That's going to be a tough one because there's only one way, and it's our way or the highway, really. So I don't see how there's a solution against the Thomas Frank team with United. There could be one instance, and it's the way that we played in the first season. And funny enough, it's the way Ten Hag has been playing in the last 2 games. So you know what? The feel around the club, I would say, of getting a win against Brentford, or should I say the fan base, not the club, is pretty much counterattack. That's our tactics for tomorrow. It's more than likely going to be a counterattack against a Brentford side. And unfortunately, that's where we've come to with our tenure with Ten Hag. So yeah, man, it's horrendous. You know, every time I'm trying to think of something to say, it just blocks my brain. Like it's like he wants to lock up. I don't want to say much because I don't want to keep coming on channels of my own and doing episodes and talking about the exact same thing. But we can't help ourselves but exactly talk about the exact same thing. And it's annoying. You know, and Burma on fire, the Yanouts on fire. You know, Stephen Pinnock's really good in the air, one of our weaknesses. See, when I keep trying to pinpoint little bits that could really hurt us, it's a weakness where what we can't control on the break, in the air, and so forth and so forth. You know, even just a little bit of being direct, we saw with the low, we don't know, it's a little bit hot and cold. You know, when he played against that Dibbling, someone that was really direct and taking him down the line, he couldn't handle it. And that's what I see with Mbermo. Vista being back as well. Carvalho is going to be up against Casemiro if he starts. You know, Brentford have got actually a really good collective of players. And you know what? I don't actually believe this team is actually better than United's. I don't think they got a better squad. It's easy to say that a lot of teams got better 11s because we don't score. We do defend at times. We can keep a clean sheet, but if we're not keeping a clean sheet, we're getting battered. So it's horrendous, and we're back on -3 goal difference. But if you don't know, Thomas Frank is allegedly leading the race for the Man United job. If you lot agree with him, I want to know your thoughts on that, and also I want to know where it would go right or potentially wrong with Thomas Frank. I think it's good to provide both arguments because at least then it gives a better insight. Teach me something. Make me change my mind maybe why we should go for a different manager. Then there's the race for Amorim, which we've obviously spoken about with the 3 at the back. But if we like the 3 at the back with an Amorim, why would we not like a three at the back at times? Not saying it will be, but at times with Thomas Frank, who's known to switch it up. And then we got Alonso who's coming out yesterday about that Xabi Alonso was one of the managers that Ineos tried to go and get, or actually sound out at least in the summer with the Ten Hag speculation over his future. And it's another manager, one that's considered a top gaffer, to reject us. We're rejection FC. That's how far United have come. These top gaffers, with too much uncertainty around United, they've had enough. So this is why we got to go for the gambles. This is why we got to go for the project managers, so forth. These ones that have already won don't want to come. Who says Amarim even wants to come here? You can pay out all his salaries and stuff. Don't get me wrong. He's getting paid handsomely over in Sporting Lisbon. They look after him very, very well. But then again, he nearly accepted a West Ham job until he didn't. You know, same thing with Liverpool. Something went on there where I believe, I don't know which part he went for, but I'm pretty sure Liverpool rejected him in the interview. Something of maybe around player power. Maybe that might be the actual case. Xabi Alonso is not coming in. No, he's not going to come in. But if people don't know, there's a huge injury boost for Manchester United. There's a lot of players in training. I'm just having a look as well. So the whole surrounding Man United and who we're going to have, it kind of selects itself. It pretty much is there. Kobe Mino, if you don't know, is out for 7 games. So it's for a few weeks, pretty much 3 to 4 weeks, right? So, and if you saw the training videos yesterday, you see Mazraoui running out, and that's a good sign. Agate, if you watch the training videos again, he's doing selective training by himself. So he's there. He's not going to play, but he's there at least. So we've got 2 fullbacks that are fit enough. And that makes me wonder about sometimes with some of these guys, like that report for us, like Chris Wheeler, that we do like. He was the one that actually came out with it and talking about that he could be out for 2-3 weeks. It actually, you know where this stemmed from? It stemmed from a super chat on the United stand. And on the United stand, it was talking about his cousin or something alongside knows the doctor that was treating Mazraoui. And even though it came out that it was a common condition, the heart condition for what he had, I think it was the heart condition anyway, palpitations they call it. Obviously, if you don't know what a palpitation is, go and look on Google. I can read out if you want. Obviously, sometimes you have some troubles with your breathing. So along them lines, is that's where it stemmed from. And then it come out from a source saying that he's out. And I'm pretty sure it was a Moroccan source at first before it led into obviously the UK. And then they started making a story saying he's going to be out for 4 weeks. He's going to be out for 3 weeks. It's not as bad as it first sounds, but he's back in full training. So there we go. We got Mazraoui back. And and you know what? It sounds harsh. I don't want these guys to be injured, but I'm still firm with what I want tomorrow. And I don't want United to win. And as harsh as it is, and I know a lot of you might say that is, how can you want United to lose? It's like you're not a fan, maybe. I haven't had no one say that yet. But it's just that, again, we need to come together as a common cause. I don't mind being challenged. I don't mind a challenge, to be fair. So if someone gives me a good reason why we should keep winning, I don't see why we should. Because unless something drastic changed, because a consistency in the way we play in, the players are together and it's going well, I just don't believe in that anymore. And I don't think that's going to happen. You know, building off the Villa game, it was horrendous to watch. It was pragmatic, and he went to like a bit more of a rigid system, which anybody can do, by the way. Would you bring back Gomez on a free next summer, Cass? Absolutely. Why would I not? I think that would be stupid. We need footballers at this club. United lack. What's that? Your viewers know palpitations from their withdrawals. Maybe. that's a good way of looking at it. But yeah, Man United lack footballers and we lack good midfielders. And we look at it, who really can play ball there. There's only 2 players that can play ball at United in the midfield. One of them is Kobe, who's out injured at the moment, and the other one's Eriksen. Eriksen's more of the technician out of all of them, to be fair. But he ain't got no legs. He's on his last legs, and he's pretty much on his way out with no new contract renewal either. So someone like Angel Gomez coming in would kind of fill in that role that Eriksen already brings. And we already know that Angel Gomez can do a DM role, but he can also play out further forward. Like the way he picked out that ball for, who was it for England? I can't remember. He's definitely still got vision. Remember, he came through as a attacking mid at United. He was known as a 10, got put out wide, can still do that job, but we need midfielders. Angel Gomez, Kobe sounds like a good midfield, but then you need someone a little bit more robust and a little bit more physical to really solidify as a 3. Because if you want an 8 like Angel Gomez, probably dictate and play a little bit and have Kobe doing a more forward-thinking role, maybe in a half space between, like, where the winger is and in the midfield, then you need a DM still, because even though you can play Angel Gomez as a DM, unless you've really got a hard-hitting box-to-box, I feel like you need two really good box-to-boxes next to Angel Gomez to cover him, at least in the Premier League anyways, because then that balance doesn't really provide it much and you probably get ran over. But technically, it sounds really good. So I'm pretty sure United hopefully are looking at this midfield and looking at it as a change, because Casemiro, future unknown. You've got Ugarte there now. Kobe's there for the future. Collier, we don't know what's going to happen with this kid. I think he needs to be given a chance of some sort to see what we can do with him. Maybe this is just his integration period of seeing how he is around the first team to see if he's worthy of a chance. But yeah, I still feel like United have got some good players there, especially in the academy, or was in the academy. I think Dan Gore, who's been in and around the first team, again, I think he's a solid player. He's a really good player, and he's just not been given a chance. He's very tenacious, especially for how little he is as well. He does provide a good battle. So yeah, Pogba with Games and Kobe, we're not going to get Pogba back. There's no chance. There's no point. I've never known a club to bring back a player 3 times, let alone twice. Well, then again, twice. It would be twice. You bring him back once, not going to bring him back again. He's already at the club. Bruno replacement and Ericsson midfielders next summer. Well, actually, look, I know this is a bit different. We're not talking about Thomas Frank at the moment. We'll go on to that. Alonso rejecting us. And then obviously the injury news around the club. Luke Shaw and Terrell Malacia are not far away from being back at the club. Actually on the pitch at least. So the fullback situation is looking a little bit more positive, at least, with a new manager potentially coming in because of the Saturday result we don't believe in, or at least I don't believe that's going to happen. With his inevitable sacking, a new manager should have a lot more tools available at his disposal and to see what he can really do. So it's pretty much anyone's game. We need a left-footed left back at left back, not a right-footed one. So it'll be interesting to see who it may be. But if Thomas Frank is the one to lead the race, I've got a feeling he's going to prefer Malacia over Shaw. That's what I think. But who knows if Malacia even comes back to his best? He might not even come back at all. He might get injured again. Could suffer. So yeah. Dan Gore suffered with that injury. He really did. Collier deserves a chance. Give him a go. Can't do any worse than there was now. But he got thrown in a deep end before. And when he got thrown in a deep end against Liverpool, it's like, don't get me wrong, we didn't concede no more goals, but you can see the distance between him and Kobe. It doesn't matter what, it doesn't matter what midfield you put together. It's still very disjointed. It's crazy. It's like, how have we got a DM, but then Casemiro's going to probably leave next summer to also need another DM again? So maybe Ugarte could be that backup in the end if he's not deemed to be good enough and could do different roles. But it looks like United still need a DM in the future. I don't know who that's going to be. We talk about this Seko Kone guy that's coming as a youngster, and he's going to be integrated in the first team. That's how good he is. He could be that A or that DM. I don't know what role he plays. I don't know anything about him. But there's no point. We can't be relying on kids hoping they get good to bail us out. We still need some senior figures for next year. Angel Gomez coming back is one. And who we've been targeting is actually Eze. Eze's actually at top of the list, the one to take over the reins over Bruno Fernandes. But he's going to cost an arm and a leg. Maybe by next summer that might change. Yeah, and he's going to be the successor. I think Eze's overrated, but I'm not going to say no to him. Again, we need footballers. It would be good to have Eze and Angel Gomez, but then we need someone that's a hard-hitting, robust midfielder. We still lack that. I don't look at them as physical players. And again, we don't know what manager's going to play what. Is it going to be an attacker mid, or is it going to be an 8? Is Eze looked as a left winger potentially? Because with the first articles that came out about Eze was the fact that he plays over on the left-hand side as a left winger, and United are looking at left wingers, not 10s. So again, that's interesting. I don't look at Eze as a left winger for me. I think he's a 10, and he's best suited in the 10, or at least in the left forward position. If it is going to be Thomas Frank, he does play with a 10, but he plays all sorts. You don't even know what he's going to play. When you got in Burma and Vissa, they're pretty much side by side to one another, like more up front. So it's quite weird. I want Kudus on Musiala. I'm telling you now for free, Musiala is a dream. Don't get sold on that. Kudus could happen, but I don't see in a world where we trigger 80 million unless things go really, really well. And I don't think we're going to be looking at right wingers unless Anthony gets sold. They'll look at the future of Ahmad as the mainstay, the guy that's going to be the main winger to develop and continue that role on the right. So they get some sort of maybe backup right winger that is good and that can challenge, but not as good, that's going to cost you an arm and a leg for someone that's not going to start. But then again, Kudus could be the guy that plays in a 10. He could play up front. He could play multiple roles. Kudus is that good for me. And he's exactly whatever team gets Kudus in the end, they're lucky because he's going to be a baller. Apparently, we're in for Goretzka. I wouldn't believe anything that Plettigol says. Florian Plettenberg, he's a known liar. He's actually crap. Christian Folk, I can hear it a little bit more potentially, but when it comes to Florian Plettenberg, he's just for him anyways. I don't rate him at all. When it comes to transfers, he's horrendous. He sucks. Ahmad can play 10 as well. Well, see, now we're dreaming. Now you're getting me into the giddy zone. The giddy zone. I'm at the goodies. Oh my. You lot got me tweaking at the moment. Look what you lot are doing to me. You got me blushing. Imagine. Can I imagine that midfield? Shit. Yeah, man. I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. I would love a glider. We lack gliders in this team. Ahmad Future should probably be the 10. Cole Palmer is it's like it's written in the stars. But just because he's a man, just because he supports United, and just because he loves Manchester so much, does not mean he's coming to United. If Chelsea is successful, if they continue to go the way they're going, that guy's going to be happy. He's going to get pay rises. He's going to get new clauses, new bonuses. The Palmer is a dream. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of players that are Man United fans, but it does not mean they're going to come over here and we're going to go and buy them. Again, he's on a 9-year plan and he's going to cost you a good 200 million minimum at this rate. I just don't see it. Maybe in 2-3 years in hope that Chelsea fail, unless there's a clause in there that like 115, 130, 140 million release clause, then I don't see how it's going to work. Chelsea's just going to reject us. He's not going to put in a transfer request. He's all right down there, man. It's unfortunate. Narcas come in trust. Cass, I trust Daps as a source. Yeah, like it's known. It's very much known around Manchester. If you know his family, his friends, of course he misses Manny. You know, everyone misses their home. You know, at the end, if you're gonna leave somewhere, you're gonna go back there. He might not like London, and as much as he wants to come back, if he wanted to come back, why did he sign a new contract? And how comes we don't know of any new release clauses? So this whole, Cole Palmer coming back to United, again, it's hopium. Stop it. You're selling yourself a dream. It's not even the next 2 years. It's not coming nowhere. The only way that happens is Chelsea doesn't make Champions League consistently and fail. And then he puts in a transfer request. That's the only opportunity. But right now, Chelsea are looking like one of the more favored big hitters to at least rise from the crop of the low ones in terms of United and Tottenham. They're the next ones to go up. And it looks like they're not going to stop either until it succeeds. And he's at the heart of that. They're building a team around him, that suits him, and he's thriving. We're not getting a Cole Palmer. We need our own version. There's some players in the academy that, that are really, really good, that are tipped really high. I think Double A's in it. Double A can tell you some of the academy prospects, but doesn't mean they're going to be good or they're going to be a Cole Palmer, but we might have our own little Foden in the ranks. Shea Lacey, and that Ibrahimov guy, I've got big hopes for them too, especially. And I'm pretty sure there's some others as well that you lot can name that've got hype, but I don't know who's got more hype than these two, for me anyways. So these 9-year contracts, deals and everything, kiss that goodbye. It's just not happening. In terms of United, though, who will be leaving us, it's Ten Hag on the weekend. With Thomas Frank, again, I need some... if you're a United fan, actually, even just if you're not a United fan, if you're in here, I need to know what your thoughts are with this Thomas Frank being the guy at the top of the tree to make sure that he gets that job. Like, are you not in favor of that? Because I am. I've been sold and I've come around to it and I've pretty much made my peace with it that United are not in that zone anymore to be getting any sort of manager that has a good CV. Everyone rejects us now. We are rejection FC. Rejects FC even. Look out for Jack Fletcher. Did he not play in pre-season, Double A? Did he play in pre-season? I'm pretty sure he played in pre-season. I don't think I saw him much. I think he was a part of the teams. When it was one half of one team and then one half of another before they jetted out. I'm pretty sure he might have been in there. He's about 16, right? And apparently his IQ levels are crazy. Centre mid, right? Attack mid, centre mid, roughly. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Benito, I like Ahmad. I just need to see more from him. Your manager hardly rates him. And unfortunately, we're going to trigger an extension because we can't even get him to a new deal at the moment. Or maybe we're not even there yet. But I know they're trying to work on the Kobe deal. And even then, I know Kobe will stay pretty much. But again, at some point, these players are going to want some guarantees. 17 and an attacking mid. Ooh. Would you say Shea Lacey is more of an attacking mid, or would you say he's more? He would if he did come through the ranks eventually. Because how is he now? Shea Lacey must be got to be about 17 now, is it surely? How old is he? Let me check his age. His age is now. It's got to be about 17, surely. Because he signed his professional contract, didn't he? He got his first professional contract back in April. Yeah, I'm not too sure how old he is. Oh, he is 17. So yeah, he's coming up to 18. So he's gonna some point. He should be a part of next preseason then, if that's the case. But I would say he's more of a right winger. Like he would come in. It's a bit like how they got Foden in. They made him a winger more than an attacking mid. You know, to put a kid as an attacking mid, you got to be outrageously ready physically, anyways. But there's a lot of good academy prospects. Not everyone can make it, but there's some in United. Like United's academy is really, really good. And these are the ones that maybe in the next 5 years, this is why they call it a project. And this is why you can see United working on a lot of the talented youngsters at a certain age range, you know, who they're trying to get in. Hopefully for them, it comes to the point in about 5 years, it's some guaranteed successes in there. So yeah, man, it's good to get. United can't lose its way and its culture. You know, for me, I know there was a spat about the whole Sir Alex Ferguson thing, whether you agree and whether you don't disagree. To be fair, at the end, if we're winning, it doesn't matter. But I don't want to lose that bit of culture and of United and our own way of things. This is why I'm kind of again, as much as I like the back three and I want to win, I don't really recognize it. But you still want to recognize your club. We always have an academy prospect or academy graduate, shall I say, in the ranks all the time for many, many years. And if that's taken away from us, that's gonna piss me off. So you better go and develop someone. Obviously, Minu's in there, and he's in there for the foreseeable future. We got loads. There's usually more than 2 in there, 3 in there. So we can't have that way driven away from us. We got to have something at least. There's a 6'5" centre back in an academy called Goodwill Kokonki. 6'5". Oh well, fair enough. Oh, well, actually, is there a website where I can actually like watch some of these academy games as well? That would be good. Tarek, what's your prediction for versus Brentford, Cass? I think Brentford are going to whoop us 3-1. Like, even if I know I want to lose, but I actually, in general, even if I wanted to win and think I could win, I don't think I think this game's got a draw written all over it, if I'm being honest. But I think they're going to beat us. I don't see how United get more than 1 goal. You know, they have it in them to get more than 1 goal, but we have it in us to also concede more than 1 goal. It will probably be a case where United probably concede first. No, so United score first, and then after that, we go and bottle it. Imagine 3 losses at Old Trafford in 8 games. It's a madness what it can do for one's mental health. Like your football team, you look forward to it in the weekend. You've worked all week. If you've got your 9 to 5s, you know, you look forward to. If you've got a missus, you look forward to that. But you know, when you got your time and it's your time with your guys or just yourself and you want to talk about ball and then it's your team being crap and you're praising everyone else, that's another weekend for me. You know, I talk an honest game when it comes to Arsenal, when it comes to Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City. Like, I don't mind giving praise to other teams, but it's just like when it comes to my own, every single week, there's nothing to go off of anymore. So it's just better just to put me out my misery so I can have a reset. We need a reset. Ineos are probably trying to give Man United a reset, in fairness, you know, especially with the Ferguson decision. They're pretty much sending out a message saying that nobody's safe. Anyone can get it. Are you going to the game on Saturday, AA, by the way? We'll score first and this manager will try and shut up shop and we'll buckle to the pressure. What do you mean, one of them last minute? You know, in the last 10 minutes, we concede a goal. Them ones, like, we're going to do an Uno reverse of Maguire saving him against Porto. Elevation process. We have all these injuries for excuses, so don't be surprised if Ten Hag tries something wild. If it doesn't work, the manager will come and say we'll have all the play injuries, and when we get them back, we will. Oh my word, me and you think the same. I am not kidding you. I have said this. I think I've said this on. Did I say this yesterday? I might have said this a couple of days ago. I said he's going to use something as an excuse if we lose. He's not going to blame himself. He never takes self accountability of why we lose. No joke is him. He's always going to have something. And I know United's got the most injuries at the moment in the Premier League, but he's gonna find something. This guy's shameless. Yeah, I'll be there, brother. You go ahead. Hell no. Hell no. I know you're. I don't know how you're going, double A. I'm gonna be serious. Like, I know you got your season ticket and whatnot, but I don't know how you sit there and survive this dross. This dross is horrendous. I don't know how you can watch it. Salute to you, innit? It's pain, innit? It's pain. But it's just horrendous. Support your club, win, lose, draw. But this is drowning at this point. Eric, 10 excuses, exactly. You're not a United fan, but I take Frank over ETH every day of the week, clearly. Evans at left back. So we went through it. I went through it yesterday of what we had, and now it's looking like it's a bit different. Managerial is in first team training. He's fit, and he's available for selection. I just saw an article come out about that, or like a quote. And then Dalot's fit. I think it's going to be De Ligt and Evans at centre back because Maguire's injured. Lindelof is just going to be reserved there. And then the midfield picks itself. It's going to be Eriksen, Casemiro, and also Bruno Fernandes. Kobe's out for 4 weeks. Agate's in individual training alone, meaning he's not going to be fit enough for tomorrow because he's not in the plans, clearly. We've got Garnacho who's had knee injuries, probably not wise to use him. So I'm going to count Garnacho out. Ahmad, there's questions about his fitness as well anyways, but he should be available for selection. Didn't go international break. And then there's Anthony who's fit and fresh, who I've got a feeling he's going to use. Rashford's there. Hoyland is a doubt, but he's in training, but he's a doubt. There's a knock in him, so I don't see him starting. So I think Xerxes goes up front. It pretty much picks itself. So yeah, big up Kingsman. Oh, making content, bro. Getting me through it. I didn't go to 20 because I had a bad feeling. Got to my front door and turned around. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Wait, so you got ready to go to the game against FC20. You got ready. You went outside the door and you literally stood there and said, hold on. I've got a bad feeling. Fuck that. I'm going back indoors and making a tea. You know how mad that is? Let me see what you have to say, Abs. Arda Güler right wing. Adeyemi centre forward. Sancho left a wing. Ahmad attacker mid. Manu Gomez centre mids, or whichever one. Zubameni DM tiki taka ball. In theory, technically that's sound, but that has no legs. Like there's no legs, and that whole team sounds great, but that's getting exactly we're getting run. If a team had that, you're getting run over. No one's got the legs to keep up there, unless you have like 3 very very pressing attacking mids, which them not on. So, but it sounds good. That's exactly how it happened. You're off your head. You're really off your head. What's our likes on people, by the way? There's 150 of you in here. There's 59 likes. So I just implore anyone that has come through the door, if you haven't, take your shoes off. Just like Double A, turned around, look at that like button, smash that like button. You know, respect the house. You know, smash the likes, and yeah, man. Hopefully, I'll get a new subscriber that way. So just like Double A, take off your shoes. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Let me just double check this quick. Am I bugging? Oh, nice. Okay, I think we got about 30 odd subscribers this whole thing. So yeah, big up to yourselves. That's actually a mad blessing. I can't wait to go out later though. Cass, what Jim Ineos have done, put up all the prices on the season tickets. I think it was by, what is it? Was it 5%? Was it 3% or 5%? I saw match day tickets, absolute disgrace. Again, Jim Ineos are dirty Glazers 2.0 pretty much. Look, I'm calling them Glazers 2.0 for now out of frustration. I'm pretty sure they're doing what they need to do for the club. The club is in a very, very bad way. I think beyond our comprehension from our own understandings. If you're clued up, big up yourselves. You can advise me. You can give me any sort of knowledge that I can use so I can understand a little bit more. I say that because I'm being reactionary. I'm quite, as you know, I can be quite emotional, especially when it comes to United. Very emotional. I can be logical, but at the same time, I'm very frustrated or carry a lot of frustration. There's a lot to sort out. There's a lot of decisions, harsh decisions. They need to stamp their authority on to move this club forward. The manager situation, you know, rejection after rejection, people not wanting to come. There's a big mess to really sort out. And we're just gonna have to get used to it. It's kind of like Chelsea's season of last season, maybe even their first season. You know, a bit of an injection in terms of like players to buy, players that you have to sell. Obviously, not in that extent like what Chelsea did, but there was a lot of they didn't know what they were doing. But behind the scenes, I'm pretty sure they're doing everything they can. It's just that they're not making decisions that we are in favor of right now. I'm pretty sure it will work out. I still do trust them. I don't really want to be known as the guy that, is the first one to start calling them 2.0 Glazers, all this, that, yada, yada, yada. Because the Glazers are the reason why we're in this mess in the first place. It's just that you just have to hold the faith. I miss going to games like with Double A. I see, what's his name? Adam as well. People know Adam Matic. Even some of the guys. You know what's mad? A lot of the guys I go to watch Man United with before when I was going up there on a regular, I don't even know their names. You know what I mean? It's just a face. It's like, oh yeah, like what are you saying? How are you? Like, how's your day been? Blah blah. I don't even know their names. You only get to know the names of a few of them, but the regular face, Double A knows what I mean. He probably knows their names pretty more, but it's a different experience when you go to United. If anyone hasn't been there, I implore anyone to go there when things are going at least well. Get your experience. Unless you see what's it called, my man going there who gives us a curse. But it's just trust me, I miss being at Old Trafford. I miss singing. I miss going to meeting a random dude or woman to the right of me or left of me, above me, and we're just having a good old chat. Like it's a great feeling, and that right now it's not there, but I feel like we'll get there at some point. You can't. Otherwise, what's the point of being a fan if you think it's going to go down and down and down? It's not. When you're down, the only way is back up. Believe me. But I'm here at the moment making the content I need to. This season, I'm a bit right now. I'm trying to get married and stuff. So like things, trying to save, yada yada yada. I want to get my first car. Like it takes a lot. It's a lot. So right now, going to United is expensive, and I'm not going up there and spending a good. Because if I go there, it's going to cost me at least a good £200 in total. Food, the travel, and little bits and bobs that I like to do extra. Yeah, it's going to cost me 150, 200 quid. So there's just it's no point. So yeah, big up. I am gonna hardest working man on YouTube. That's not me, man. That's not me. I'm a hard worker, but I'm not as hard working as a lot. I feel like I could be making a lot of content, but I suppose I'm running 2 channels. But big up to yourself as well. I'm gonna reply back to your make sure you message Hooks, by the way, Ems, if you haven't done so yet. Bro, we can go. I ain't going with this manager in charge. Aye. Yeah, man. I ain't going either. I'm not going either. And Martin says, so Rance believes Fergie is to blame for United's failures over the last 12 years. Fergie's the only reason United have been relevant to the past 30 plus years. I hate United and subbed to ask you this. Well, hopefully you sub to ask me. You sub because, just you want to stick around. You like the content. But no, in Rance's defense, he even that's how I gathered it at first. At first, I gathered that it's like he was putting all the blame on Fergie pretty much, but he didn't actually do that. So that's how it came across to me. He actually said he's had the influence on these decisions, whether it's Ollie, he feels like whether it's Fletcher's, in bed with the Glazers, in bed with that. So he just said he was an influence, which I'm pretty sure he was an influence on a lot of these decisions because he's was he a board member or executive, whatever he was, and then he's made a what do they call him again? What party song is and I can't remember what they called that official role within it all, whatever it was, anyways. But I'm pretty sure he was an influence in it. But even for myself, I'm more in believement of the way Ineos have handled Ferguson was embarrassing. And I know you want to put your foot down and you can say this decision or he made that decision. Ambassador, that's it. For me, he gave me the best memories as a child, and Rance's thing is like it's like he had his time, which is fair. He can support and think how he wants to think, as well. But I'll back down on what I feel like, even if he has made some horrendous decisions in terms of influencing certain aspects of the club, managers, staff, this, that, and the other. People know there's rumors of the stories about being in bed with the Glazers, why they're the reason they're in here in the first place and stuff. But for me, I just I would like Ineos to show a little bit more decorum in the way they did it, because as I said, I don't like negativity in for too much anyways. I think some is actually quite healthy because if it's too positive, it gets toxic positive and no one challenges. But for me, the way the direction of this club is, it's at an all-time low. The players are not confident. It feels like Ollie, that when it just nearly went, Mourinho, but it feels even worse, like even worse. for me, anyways, unless I'm being a bit of recency bias, it's just if you're going to stamp your authority on the game to show that we're here, we'll do whatever means necessary to make sure our club wins. Because at the end of the day, we all support Manchester United for supporting Man United, not a manager or a player. But for me, it's just like, you know, when things are going well, you know, you could have ended his reign, like as in terms of as an ambassador, give him a different role, stop the payments, etc. But I think they could have just waited. You know, like he is the man that made United relevant. He is he is the main reason that spawned a lot of our favorite players that we loved over the years. I think they could have waited until there was a new manager and there was a good feeling around the club. You know, they could have made this decision and kept it under wraps for a very, very long time. No one needed to know, you know, and then came out at the same time that Ferguson stepping down, it was an Ineos decision and he was okay with it. The way the article was did not make it any better. Alan Crofton, who does United news for the Athletic, the way he wrote that was it was horrible. And PR is everything that surrounds in England when it comes to media. It's horrible. And you know, Athletic meant to be one of the more respected papers. I just don't think he wrote that correct, and I didn't like it the way I read it. Anyways, I don't know how you lot think of it, but in hindsight, what I agree with Rance as well is being in and around the dressing room, like maybe being an influence, and it could make an effect, you know, in judgment and not really the best thing going forward. Like you want to stamp your authority, especially as a manager and whatnot. Maybe not getting involved. I can hear that part, but that should not be a reason for why we are losing on the pitch, and it shouldn't be a reason why even Ten Hag's still in the job. So there you go, man. People get this stream to 100 likes. Bro, I beg one United fan, look how Ineos are doing and tell me Rant's belief in them. What's this? Bro, I beg one United fan, look how Ineos clubs are doing and tell me Rant's belief in them. Being of the season or the end of the season will be better time for the Fergie sacking. Yeah, I think so as well. You know, anyone can have their reasons and beliefs and accusations, assumptions, presumptions, but the way I'm viewing it is a little bit different, and that's fine. At the moment, Ineos clubs aren't doing well. Like what they call it again, the chain of clubs, and whatnot. But I think that can change in a few results. Not so much United, don't get me wrong. It's looking horrendous for us, but I don't know. I don't know the inside out of Lausanne Sports. I don't know the inside out of Nice, how many points they are away. I'm starting to watch more French football. So again, at the end of the season, it's great because last time I checked, Nice was one of the top clubs last year. You know, they finished in a good position for the French league. So it's just, you know, people want to dig out. People want to dig out the negative, like when it's negative with more negative stuff. But when there's positives that you could throw on what they've done well, that's never provided, so it can be balanced. And this is why I give grace for a lot of these decisions, and that's why I am the way I am. Even if I am in agreement, people can be right at one point, but then again, I don't have to agree with it all the time. Serge Ferguson's the reason why this Mr. Eggman can piss 600 million down a stinker. Yeah, pretty much. But I think the annoyance of all of this that's surrounding with the Sir Ferguson is like, so Rance had the argument along the lines of there's too much of an emotional attachment with this man, which you know what, to be fair, I do have an emotional attachment with him, right? And I think it's important, like, to remember. But he's saying like that was then. He gave us what we gave us, and we need to move on. Like it's been 10 years since the end, or 11 years even since the end of Fergie's reign at United. It's time to kind of like move on from that process. But for me, the emotions is what gives me ties to this club and why I support them. And much as I want to win, you know, I always have that bit about me that will remember and have love for it. You know, it's like me trying to forget probably Sir Bobby Charlton. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not my era, but what he provided for the club, Matt Busby, I think it's very like it's embedded in history for us, you know? So that's why there's an emotional attachment for me. And I don't think there's anything wrong for people keeping on with Fergie. What I don't like with Ferguson is when people try to use it as an argument for why a manager should be given time for 5 years because look at 86. But I'm not trying to hear that part. What else you lot saying? Apparently there's a lot season tickets holders and match day fans are going tomorrow. There's loads of tickets still going. Last time I checked, I don't know. I could have a little look now, but I'd rather not because I'd be tempted to buy a ticket. I'd rather not go. But anyway, look, big up to everyone that's in here. Hopefully you all smash the likes as well. I've got 77 likes. Could be more. Could be less. It would have been nice. So yeah, make sure you lot have a good day as well. Wait, what's this? Some weirdo mod thought out because I thought Cass was right. Really interesting that. I'll try to unban you or get you unbanned. I thought Fergie's made out to be something he isn't. I believe the discourse around him would be different had we continued to win leagues after he retired. Of course, narratives also they always get changed depending on results. It's always the way forward, isn't it? With making a certain decision. But yeah, man, big up to all yourselves. I can't exactly not a United fan, but keeping Fergie around was the death knell of your club. 77th like. All right, fair enough. I can't really redirect yet. It's weird with this. It doesn't actually say. Oh, nice! It's allowed me. Is there anyone live? Yeah, man. Troops is live. Bun it. There we go. That's the only one I can see that's live at the moment. Go over to Troops' channel. Yeah, man. In a bit. I'm gonna go get ready.